researching those variables, you have to ask like the third, fourth, fifth why. You get a good CSAT by being pleased as punch and nice with everybody, but not really solving the problems that we should be solving, not efficiently doing the job before us. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Account Management, a tactical guide to success. I am your host, Fred Fuller, and on the other side, I have my good friend, Dr. John Brown. John, how are you, man?
I'm great, Dr. Fuller. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, pretty flawless, except for the stumbles in the beginning.
The stumbles?
Didn't you hear the stutters?
Oh, no.
You
sound mellifluous. I didn't get that word quite right.
Well, let's stay on that word until we get it right. Yeah, okay. See, I turn it into gold. Turn it into gold. Hey, how are you, man?
I am doing great. Things are well. We are back to podcasting regularly. Our goal is every 2 weeks. Yeah. And so that's what we're trying to do for the rest of the year. And the reason why, very exciting announcement. Trumpet flare, and we have a new
edition
coming to
out.
the book coming
One
out.
day.
Second edition. We don't know the date yet. That'll be more of a flare once we have the date to announce.
Yeah, we'll actually buy a trumpet. No.
I played trumpet in high school.
Did you for real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Would you like me to bring it?
I need a picture. Do you have it?
No, I don't have it.
You do.
I don't. Sorry. Do I have a picture? I'm probably got a picture somewhere.
So were you good? Were you like Chuck Mangione or
no?
No. Dizzy Gillespie?
No, not good.
None of that.
No.
Okay.
I played trumpet in our band in ROTC too. In college. I wasn't any better then. I was like worse. But
did you guys just play like Louie on a loop or something?
Well, so we played a lot of. We went to Tulane in New Orleans, and so we played a lot of Mardi Gras parades actually. So we played a lot of second line.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're familiar with that tune, so I could at one time play that pretty well.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm a man of many talents.
Yeah.
In addition to physics.
You are. Have you been to any good concerts lately?
No, I have not.
No.
No, that's not true. I did. No, I went to Springsteen.
Yeah.
A while back. That's
a good one. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. We went and saw Tyler Childers. Are you familiar with him?
Help me out.
You wouldn't. He's bluegrass, country, rock, fusion-y kind of guy. And I'm sure that somebody that knows more about music could say this is what he does. But it's got some southern kind of Appalachia, kind of West Virginia, Kentucky.
That makes sense for you because you grew up on a beach.
Look, I didn't say, I'm resurrected a childhood friend, did I? I said you were the one inquiring as to who is this feller you speak of.
I did.
But anyway, no, we went and saw him. We saw him in Greenville, and man, it was an incredible show.
Oh yeah, great town.
It was,
by the way,
great town,
great venue,
and I mean, it was just he came out there and just crushed it.
Yeah,
did not do the what do you call it? The encore thing, right? There you go. Come back out and do another one. Now I don't know if he
Here's the part. Did he play his hits, whatever those are?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's that. You know how I feel about that. Like if you're a big artist and you don't play the hits, you're dead to me after that.
Penalty box. Right? That's right. Penalty. You won't even listen to him on the jukebox.
No, like I'll fast forward when it comes on.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like ask my wife. 100%.
Have you heard the comedian who does the shtick about playing What's New Pussycat at a Waffle House at 3 in the...
Yeah.
My heavens.
John Mulvaney.
God, that's the
funniest thing in the world. It's
on
YouTube. Highly recommend. It's one of the funniest little bits. Yeah.
People that are living right.
I did see John Mulvaney play.
Did you?
Here in town.
Yeah?
In Atlanta. Yeah. It was very funny.
I love his comedy.
Very funny guy.
Yeah.
Very erudite.
Man, I think so too. What's wrong with you, man? Why do you do
No,
that? Everything was smooth sailing, and then you throw a big weird word in there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, what are we going to talk about today, John?
Today, it's about scorecards that drive better account management. And so this is a common question that comes up. Like, I'm an account manager, and my boss says, hey, we need to create a scorecard for this client. And you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So that's what this is about.
That's exactly what I start with. I actually fake an injury and try to get out of there. No,
no, you dive under the table.
I think scorecards are important, KPIs and OKRs and all these different sort of alphabet soup. It's critical that you measure success in the most sort of quantitative ways possible, the most defendable ways possible.
This usually comes up like with larger clients where it's like you have maybe a more regular meeting and they're like, and so sometimes it even comes from the client where they're like, okay, I want you guys to prepare a scorecard. How are you doing for us, right? So if you have a big relationship, I've seen it come up that way as well. And then you get handed this as the account manager, and it's like, there's no like, okay, now what? Right. So we're going to talk about how to do it.
Yeah. And I think as a general notion, there is, like so many things, don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? And there is no perfect scorecard. It will differ by account, right? Even within the same organization.
Yeah, so that's the first point that's the first point we're making. There's no perfect scorecard. The process is the result. So that's kind of point number one. Is it's kind of, this is very trite to say this, but it's really more about the journey than it is the destination. So in your head, when your boss says make a scorecard, the deliverable is I got to make this scorecard, and what should I put in it and all this sort of stuff. What you really have to kind of realize is every single time you share the scorecard to the client in some sort of formal meeting, they will change it.
Oh yeah.
So therefore, it's a journey, not an end point that you're on. And it will change based on the audience. It'll change based on the audience, not just like, is it executives or is it operations people or, whoever. Yeah. It'll change based on like your primary person at the account like switches out. They leave and go get a new job, and then you get a new person in there and they care about different stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, in the creation of a scorecard, you need it to be it's good if it's collaborative. It's very helpful if it can be kind of a collaborative process of what matters to everybody and kind of try to do that. Careful, because you can also chase your tail in circles. If you get too many people at the table, you'll never find that thing, and you'll always
never
bounce around and all that. So that's kind of that perfect versus good thing. So when it comes to scorecards, be collaborative, but draw some parameters, or else you'll never get anything going. Right?
Yeah, I try to find. I think the advice there is, so first of all, somebody might ask, well, what is in the scorecard? Well, it kind of depends. It goes back to that audience question. Like if it's all like finance people, then it's going to be about revenue and margin and, I don't know, renewals, right? Like if it's operations people, it's going to be the delivery quality and the SLAs and, so you need to kind of localize it to some kind of audience. Or if you have a few audiences that you have to regularly interact with, maybe you take let's say it's a one pager of a scorecard, maybe you divide it into 3 sections, and each of the 3 sections is about one of those topic areas, and then you pick the metrics that go in the scorecard, the ones that you think are going to matter. But to your point, Fred, what is important to do is find a champion at the client who can kind of sign off on it for you before you throw it up on the screen in the big meeting and 20 different people in the meeting go, oh, that's not what I want to see. Yeah. And then it's a different thing, right? Like get that buy-in ahead of time with the client, right?
I tell you the worst. The worst is when you throw up a metric and you say, this is top sales metric A.
Right.
And the client looks at it and goes, well, we looked at that in the last meeting, and this metric was a different number. It was a different value, right? Like the inconsistency in KPIs, nothing can cause more pain
Right.
and then more kind of just chasing your tail and more angst than putting a number up and it could be totally different, measured totally different, but you just called it the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
In general, all things being equal, you want to try to pick numbers that have a trend to them that can be observed over time. All things being equal, sometimes some numbers are just kind of singular numbers and you just show the number. But in general, to your point, like you want to have that consistency when you show it in the quarterly meeting or the monthly meeting. Pick numbers that like you can, and hopefully, if you're really smart, pick numbers that show that you are getting better over time. I mean, if you can engineer that, right? Now sometimes it doesn't work that way, and they want to see this certain number and it's getting worse. Sometimes that does happen. If it does, then be truthful and show it. But
and that's what they're there for. Right. So listen, I think that's really important because there will always be a temptation to say, like, don't show it, or, ooh, what do we do here?
Yeah.
Like, this is moving in the wrong direction. It's very concerning. I actually think those can be great moments where you say, yeah, hey, Mr. Client, that number did go down and I'm really glad we're tracking it and we've got this team on it and we're doing own it. Right.
Own it.
The worst thing is to act like it's not there and do nothing about it and try to hide it, like all those things, or to say, yeah, that's really bad. We're going to get somebody on it and then go out to lunch. Like, careful.
Enjoying the podcast but want to learn more best practices for account management? Pick up a copy of A Dragon Walks Into a Meeting, a tactical guide to client management. Available at Amazon or wherever books are sold.
You got the scorecard all perfected. You're ready for the meeting. It has a number on there that the executive you're bringing with you doesn't like because it's going in the wrong direction. You got to walk into that meeting and you have to explain to the executive, hey, this is the number they wanted to see. This is what's really happening. And so it's making that executive or whoever the leader is uncomfortable. That actually kind of can be a good thing because then they have to live with the pain of the meeting. You have to show it and sort of own it, right? And so, I've been in that situation, and that can be okay. So as long as it's truthful and accurate, right? It can be a really good thing to do.
You want to watch things get reprioritized real time. Mm-hmm. Take your boss into a meeting where you're in trouble.
Yeah.
He will be on the phone. You will get the resources you need. Yeah. Nobody likes those meetings. They're uncomfortable, right?
She'll be like, we've got to make a bigger deal out of this. I've been in a million meetings where, I was the account manager, or I wasn't the boss, and the boss comes into the meeting and the account's all mad. And, the boss walks out of the meeting and, I can't believe how bad we're doing. How come we didn't know about this? We didn't know I know all about it. Like, I've been living with this. This is you learning about it, right? Yeah. And that can be a good thing because it gets them motivated to come back to the office and start kind of, opening up some action on the situation.
These are wonderful things. I need to see these numbers every week.
Yeah. They might be the ones saying, it can open up a scorecard conversation internally. Like, I want to see this every week now.
Right? Then you take the email that they get every week and you forward it back to them. Right. Here you go.
Yeah.
No, look, here's another thing I think about KPIs and scorecards. Mm-hmm. You will have variations, and those variations will be positive and negative, right? Mm-hmm. You will have trending upwards and trending downwards. And when you are researching those variables, you have to ask like the third, fourth, fifth why, right? Because the rookie mistake, if you will, is I've got a number that's trending down. It's my net income number, right? So either your revenue's down or your expenses are up or something's changed. And to say, revenue's down, and so my net income number is down. Well, the next question is, why is revenue down? Mm-hmm. Well, it's driven by the Northeast region. They saw a drop in X. And what happened to X? Why did that drop happen? Like, where are we? Okay, boom, boom, boom. And then what are we doing about it? And then why didn't all the other regions see that same drop, right? It's a unique supplier. It's all those things. When you see an impact to a KPI, when you see a KPI shift, if you chase it in that way and come up with the entire story before you run into somebody's office and go, revenue's down.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, formulate the whole thing, come with a complete answer. Doing 12 years in corporate finance.
Yeah.
I learned this
in
very
particular in front
on,
of a client,
right?
same thing, right?
Right.
Like, you need to ask the 5 whys to get to why is this number moving in the wrong, particularly if it's moving in the wrong direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually, if it's moving in the right direction, most people are, will leave it alone. But sometimes that could be a why. Hey, why is this doing really well? What are we doing? Right.
And why can't we do it everywhere?
Do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm all over.
Question.
Yeah. So.
Second point about scorecards is, try to build them. If you don't know what to build it around, we'd suggest there's kind of 4 categories that usually matter. If you need to structure a framework, so you could think of like a 4-block framework, if you were doing a 1-pager. So just as like a general matter, operational, commercial, so SLAs, quality, all that kind of stuff. We talked about commercial, revenue and growth, some of those things you were just mentioning. Relationship, which can be things like, the health, maybe it's a satisfaction survey you took of your client, and you can replay those results back to them. Like maybe you work with 100 people at the client. What do they say about you, right?
Yeah.
So some relationship-oriented metrics, and then finally, maybe a strategic section like what's on the product roadmap, the new product launch. What does that look like? With maybe something more strategic. So anyway, just some categories. If you don't know what to make, there'd be generic, for any client. Like these would be the generic 4 categories.
There would be no shortage of interest from those sort of groups, right? Like we have it, it's kind of broken down on the page here as executive, operation, finance clients, right? So like if you think about, to your point, the 4-blocker, production, right? Like operations.
Yeah. If you don't know what to come up with, give them something to chew on, I think is really the thing. Come up with like a variety of metrics you think make sense, and maybe you'll have a client that'll be really particular about that. No, I want to see this and that. Sometimes not. And the value is you just came up with a framework that defines the relationship, hopefully with all metrics that make you look good, Mr. Account Manager, Mr. and Mrs. Account Manager. Right?
Yeah, I'm proactively holding myself accountable.
Right. Yeah. It's like, again, it's the medium is the message.
Right. Exactly. So, cool. So there's some things about how to think about metrics, or what areas to look in to identify metrics. And then when you build the scorecard, you build it with the audience, not for the audience.
Yeah, that's right. So, this is the next point, is like, don't let the metrics become the goal. Like the goal of the exercise is always trust, right? Like that's really what you're building when you're building a scorecard. Like just, because you hit a particular metric, and maybe that is the goal or the SLA or whatever, you can still have a client that's mad about a bunch of other stuff, and your scorecard doesn't matter. In other words, just because everything is green doesn't mean everything is healthy, right? Yeah. So this is where you may have to adjust your scorecard, but but don't be surprised when they change their mind. But so really, if you think about it, the end state is always actually just building trust. Then you realize, it goes back to what we were saying at the very beginning. You're never finished with the scorecard. It constantly evolves because what matters evolves.
I have a great example about KPIs. I worked for a company. I was in the finance department, and my job was to support the call center operations. And so the call center operations were internal. They just gotten outsourced largely to India. And so there was a large team of people in the headquarters that were responsible for driving all the strategy and all this, right, and making them more efficient and so forth. And when everything got outsourced, the firms were charging us on a per minute basis, right? So a lot of different math involved, but ultimately you're kind of looking at per minute basis. So the metric then to manage the the efficiency of these operations is through an average handle time.
I can almost predict the end of this story, but keep going.
You've heard it before, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a very predictable end to the story, but I think it paints a really clear picture about KPIs and how to think about them. So inevitably, what happens is in order to manage to the handle time target, calls would end abruptly. They would end prematurely, right? But the handle time looked great. client,
what didn't look great, right?
CSAT, like churn, like the clients were having a horrible experience.
Right.
Now, there was not anybody doing, I don't put this in a fraudulent, or I'm not throwing stones at anybody. This is just business stuff and how the thinking evolves on all sides, right? So we handle time, we cut off calls to manage the handle time. Customers are having a horrible experience. They're catch mad. That. Then we say, okay, satisfaction goes down. So then what was it based on CSAT? Well, no, we can get a good CSAT by being pleased as punch and nice with everybody, but not really solving the problems that we should be solving, not efficiently doing the job before us. And so ultimately, after bouncing around from one metric to the next, it lands on first call resolution, right? Now, you can go on to continue how that gets gamed and other things get, so nothing is foolproof. But if you put yourself, go back to the very beginning of that conversation, what is the number one objective of the call centers? It is to provide services to the customer.
To resolve
it's
the
a
customer's
touch point,
issue.
solve their problems, sell them, save them, technical support, all those things, right? Everybody forgot all that.
Right.
So always come back to what is the objective? What is the fundamental objective of the organization?
Well, that's a great story about how you can pick a metric. I mean, I've seen this.
We've all seen it
a million times where you pick a metric and everybody gets a laser because some executive says we got to reduce average handle time to save money, and then you wind up really just shooting yourself in the foot. And we've all that's a great story, and we've all seen that movie. And so you can do that as an account manager in front of your client. Like they tell you, we only care about this one metric, and then 3 meetings later you realize, oh, that doesn't matter at all. Right. That's what we're saying here in this whole thing is like, don't be surprised when that happens as an account manager. Oh, but we just all agreed on these metrics. Sorry, the world changed.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, don't do a scorecard for the sake of doing a scorecard. Be prepared to be accountable to it, to make sure that you're producing it on a recurring basis, and make sure that you're measuring what's really important to the company.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah. For the record, I've managed a lot of call centers, smaller ones, not big operations like that. And I go out of my way to not emphasize average handle time for the reason you just articulated.
Yeah.
Like I really say, I almost don't want to measure it. Like I want our clients to be happy. That's my number one. So
it can be.
But that's the kind of person I am.
You're an empath. Is that what I'm to believe right now?
No.
Let's talk about the CERN again.
We're going to get into physics here in a minute. We're coming back to that, everybody. Okay. There's one final point here, which is, part of the scorecard can be, scorecards mostly tend to be backwards looking, right? Part of the scorecard does need to be it might need to be a little bit about what are we going to do differently? Like, so what's the proposed action plan going forward? And this really probably gets into more doing a QBR.
Yeah.
How do you say it? But you may want to leave a little space in your scorecard for these were the results and just have an eye towards maybe a sentence or two about what this leads to is we're going to do X differently, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So maybe leave a little space for that in your scorecard.
Yeah, metric, they should mean something.
Yeah,
they should drive behavior.
Yeah, maybe the title of the scorecard is we realize we need to change direction and do more of this. Some acknowledgement that like it means when you start showing scorecards and nobody says anything in the meeting, they just all look at it. Okay, next slide. Then probably the scorecard isn't doing anything.
Yeah, I think there's an element here of don't fall prey to the TPS reports.
Yeah, right.
That's really
from Office Space.
Yes.
For those of you if you've not seen that movie, the world's greatest movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, TPS reports. Right. Yeah, man. Well, look, I think that kind of that's we got a pretty thorough covering.
We covered the waterfront. So there is no perfect scorecard. The process is the result.
Yeah.
So build it with your audience.
Yep.
Not for the audience. We covered the 4 categories of scorecard you usually need to cover. We said don't let the metrics become the goal because the goal is trust. It's always trust. And then finally, do have the backwards performance reporting, but leave some space for and have a little bit of focus on what are we going to do next. Yeah. So performance management, what are we going to do in the future? That's it. That's our advice.
Be flexible, collaborate.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
Really. So
there we go. We covered it. Covered the waterfront. Are we going to talk about physics now?
I think we have outstayed our welcome here with the fine folks in the studio, but we are going to do a conversation,
a full-length episode about physics. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
You better read up.
I'll go crack open my old books, and we're gonna get deep. Let's talk about the four fundamental forces of physics.
All right.
Can you name them?
You heard it here, folks. The four fundamental. Sheesh, I couldn't even get through it. We're gonna cover fundamental forces of physics will be the next topic of conversation while I deal with this yo-yo. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Learn more about the art and science of account management. Pick up A Dragon Walks Into a Meeting, a tactical guide to client management. Digital and print editions available at Amazon or your favorite bookseller. Fred and John would like to hear from you. Leave a comment for us on YouTube and head over to fuller-brown.com for more great content.